The woman noticed something strange while boarding the plane. The cabin that should have been packed was unusually empty with only a few passengers. She didn't relax until she saw the luggage being loaded outside. But that was just the beginning of the horror. Her daughter had been quiet ever since they boarded. Once the plane began climbing, she told her daughter to rest for a bit. But the moment Daisy opened her eyes, her daughter had vanished from the cabin. She thought the girl might have gone to the restroom, but after checking several times, she still couldn't find her. Daisy started to feel uneasy. She asked the flight attendant about her, but was told her daughter never boarded the plane. Daisy was confused instantly. She clearly remembered boarding with her daughter, but now they said she was alone. So Daisy continued searching the cabin. She nearly searched every inch of it. When she returned to her seat and saw the teddy bear, she knew this wasn't something simple. But the weirdest part was, even the nearby passengers claimed they never saw her daughter. Just then a flight attendant showed up and helped Daisy make an announcement over the intercom. 10 minutes went by, still no sign of the girl. Daisy's anxiety was through the roof. The attendant assured her the captain would be notified. With no choice, Daisy had to trust them. But half an hour later, the search still hadn't started. Now she was desperate. She asked around the passengers again, but everyone still said they hadn't seen her. Then another flight attendant suddenly appeared. Seemed like she was trying to avoid Daisy, and pulled the first attendant aside. Daisy noticed and chased after them, but this time she heard something even scarier.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that she's here.
What?
We don't... Ma'am, we don't have any record of your daughter ever having been on board.
That was impossible. Daisy told them she still had the boarding pass, then ran back into the cabin to look. But no matter how hard she searched, she couldn't find it. Now no matter how she explained, the crew just thought she was mentally unstable. Daisy was getting more and more emotional. She believed her daughter was in danger. In panic, she ran toward the cockpit. But before she could knock a few times, she was restrained by an air marshal. After learning Daisy had an emergency, he offered to bring her to the captain. Soon the captain heard the whole situation. He asked if Daisy had any mental illness, and Daisy admitted she had some, but it was just depression, not serious enough to cause hallucinations. And the reason for this trip was to bring her late husband back home. His coffin was in the cargo hold. Though still doubtful of Daisy's mental state, the captain sympathized with her as a mother.
Get the lights up. Get every passenger seated. No one in the toilets, no exception. Look for her backpack, her boarding pass. Check every closet, every bin. Are there any more questions?
Then a full-scale search began inside the cabin. The crew checked every corner carefully. The intense commotion made passengers annoyed. Agent Jeff stayed close behind, just in case Daisy acted up again. At that moment Daisy stopped, because the bearded man looked familiar.
Do I know you from somewhere?
You've walked past me 5 times since we took off.
Even after Daisy asked, the bearded man claimed he didn't know her. Half an hour passed, still no progress. The captain was losing his patience. When he said the search would stop, Daisy lost control, but the search was disturbing other passengers. Just then Daisy seemed to remember something. She rushed to find the bearded man. She recalled seeing him, staring at her daughter at the hotel yesterday. He was likely behind all this, but the man said he stayed at a different hotel, and had never seen Daisy at all. To clear suspicion, he even showed his check-in record, but Daisy still didn't trust him.
Let's go.
Where's my daughter?
I spent the night watching a movie, you crazy pussy!
The cabin soon turned chaotic. Luckily Jeff pulled her away, and asked if the man really did it. Why would he board the same plane? Wouldn't that just get himself caught? He also warned Daisy, if she kept acting up, he would have to cuff her. Daisy still couldn't explain herself. Jeff asked why someone would kidnap her daughter.
Why would anyone want to take your daughter? What makes her so special? What makes you so special?
Daisy didn't know how to answer. Just then an announcement came on. Cabin crew resumed normal operations, which meant the search was over. Daisy rushed to the captain, and heard something terrifying.
Where's my daughter?
If you come with me...
Where is she? Where is she?
She's dead, goddammit!
Turned out the captain had called the hospital, and found out Daisy's husband had jumped with their daughter under stress. Daisy couldn't believe it. She felt like the whole world went crazy. She clearly boarded with her daughter. They even brought the husband's coffin together, and had stayed at the same hotel before the flight. The captain saw Daisy was breaking down. She stumbled toward the cabin, but ran into the bearded man again. Half an hour later, the cabin was calm again. Daisy woke up from her sleep. The captain arranged for a psychiatrist, tried to help her accept the truth. Daisy pretended to agree, but just minutes later, she turned her head, and saw a heart on the glass. Her daughter had drawn it during boarding, which meant her daughter did board the plane. She used going to the restroom as an excuse to end the talk, and asked to have her cuffs removed, so she could use the bathroom. Once inside, relying on her aircraft design experience, she opened the ceiling panel, carefully climbed into the overhead space, found the power control switch. After operating it, the oxygen masks dropped down. Passengers thought it was an emergency, and started panicking. Daisy flipped another switch. The cabin lights went out. Using the chaos as cover, Daisy slipped out of the restroom. Meanwhile, the captain got the alert. He was warned someone tampered with the system. When Jeff opened the bathroom door, Daisy had already reached the cargo hold. She believed after searching the whole cabin, her daughter must be there. She first found her husband's coffin, but inside was only the husband. Seeing his lifeless body, Daisy started to panic. Where could her daughter be? Just then Jeff arrived. He cuffed Daisy immediately, and because of her reckless actions, the plane had to make an emergency landing. But Daisy was even happier. Landing early meant a better chance to find her daughter. At that moment, everyone on board thought Daisy was insane. Some even clapped, seeing her get taken away. Back in her seat, Daisy pleaded with Jeff. If she got arrested after landing, she hoped Jeff would help find her daughter. Jeff was touched by her plea. He asked a flight attendant to watch over Daisy while he went to talk to the captain. But surprisingly, Jeff pulled the curtain, didn't go to the cockpit. Instead, he entered the cargo hold. He lifted a foam panel, and underneath was a bomb remote. Turns out, Daisy's daughter was on the plane, and Agent Jeff was the one behind it all. He installed the device, then met with the captain, lied that Daisy was part of a conspiracy, said if they didn't pay her $5 million, she'd blow up the plane.
She has an accomplice on board. She won't say who it is, but that's who's holding the detonator.
Jeff kept pressuring the captain. The captain tried to talk to Daisy, but Jeff stopped him, said Daisy no longer communicated. All she wanted was money and a getaway plane. He told the captain to follow instructions, or everyone would be at risk. Then Jeff found the flight attendant, who was actually his accomplice. She had altered Daisy's boarding records and gave false information to the captain. Seeing his partner getting nervous, Jeff reassured her. Once they landed, everything would be smooth. Soon the plane landed safely. Everyone disembarked as scheduled. Daisy still believed she'd find her daughter. She proudly told the captain they were close to finding her, and demanded an apology for stopping the search. But the captain had had enough.
Miss Pratt, your money has been wired, just as you asked. A G3 is waiting, just as you asked. Perhaps we can do without the pretense of the missing child now.
Daisy was completely shocked. Jeff sensed the plan might fall apart, quickly made up a reason to get off the plane. But Daisy seemed to catch on. She followed him when she saw the agents outside, and recalled what the captain said. She realized Jeff was behind it all. She yelled at him from behind, but Jeff wasn't even nervous. He smiled, and warned Daisy, if she said anything, she'd never see her daughter again. Daisy stayed silent. Once everyone had safely left the plane, she knocked Jeff out with a fire extinguisher, then grabbed the detonator from his pocket. As she demanded to know where her daughter was, the female accomplice showed up. Daisy ran back into the plane. Jeff fired several shots, but missed her completely. By the time he got closer, Daisy had already locked herself in the cockpit. Ignoring Jeff's threats, Daisy climbed through the panel again, entered another cabin compartment, but she hadn't gone far before running into the accomplice. Daisy questioned her conscience. The woman looked guilty. While she was distracted, Daisy stepped forward and knocked her out with a punch. Jeff heard the noise and came after her, but again he was too late. Daisy had reached the cargo hold and found her daughter inside. Seeing Jeff closing in, Daisy moved her daughter to the side, then circled behind Jeff.
What are you gonna do? Huh? You gonna blow us up?
No, just you.
Flames erupted across the plane. Everyone looked on in disbelief. Moments later, the cabin door opened. Daisy carried her daughter out from the smoke.